Hello and welcome to Glass Tire. This is a Glass Tire checking in with video, which is a series we do. We're checking in with artists and art adjacent people throughout the state of Texas during this time. My name is Christina Rees, and I am here with Houston artist Emily Peacock.
Hello.
It was at home in her studio. And are you at home in your studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. This is it.
That's your home
All
studio.
this glory behind me.
Yeah, it looks like you've been busy. So you're also one of our auction artists, and we want to talk a little bit about the work that you've given us for that as well. But
Yes.
first things first, I mean, you and I have talked on the phone a little bit during this time, and you gave us a really, really terrific essay that we ran weeks ago, and now it seems like a lifetime ago.
I know.
It's like everything was different even then, and it was probably just about a month ago or so.
It feels like so long ago. So long ago.
But in that essay, you were basically just in a perfect, really succinct way, as an artist can do. You really laid out why, even though you're stuck at home, you're still making things the whole time. Is that still true? Weeks later?
It is. I've accumulated a lot of shit. Yeah. Yeah. It's everywhere. Yeah. I mean, there's like little things everywhere. Like, just like I have backdrops hanging out, everywhere, and usually I just kind of grab. Usually I just kind of grab something and either taking a photograph or making a cyanotype or painting. No, I'm a painter now.
You're a painter now.
Yeah.
I wonder how many painters we're going to end up with after all this. Actually,
I know, right?
Yeah, painters.
I have never had the patience to paint, but I have patience now, so I feel like I can sit still. I never had that patience before.
What are you painting with?
Watercolors. I'm a watercolorist. Yeah. And I'm painting like, safety things and stuff that Indiana asks, and I'm doing an inappropriate alphabet book right now.
Is it for Indiana or for grown-ups?
It's for adults. Yeah. It's like A for asshole and C for cunt. It's funny. We
picked out the piece together that you're going to put in the auction, and the work is from a series that you did that recently was part of your solo show down at Art Museum of Southeast Texas at AMSET, which I got to see, and it's probably last week or so. Can you tell us about that? Because it's a very timely piece. It turns out
safety.
The image is perfect. Tell us about the whole thing.
So the image with me with the red phone. So I made this work about having postpartum depression and dealing with feeling, overwhelmed and having very irrational fears right when I had Indiana. And so worrying about his safety, and like I called poison control a couple of times, and like I had to call the postpartum center for depression, like in an emergency, because I was feeling really, really low. So just thinking about the red phone as like this emergency phone, like you pick it up and someone's already there or something like that. Yeah.
And the series, it's you, it's your photographs, and photographs are just one thing that you do. There was a lot of sculpture in the show as well. But what was the title of the show?
Pure Comedy.
Pure Comedy.
Yeah.
And tell us about the format, the oval format.
The oval. Yeah. So the oval format is, I'm referencing, I want those images to feel kind of like Renaissance portraiture, but also, the oval referencing like family portraiture, like the history of family portraiture, and then you have this like dramatic lighting and the velvet backgrounds, but then you have these very contemporary plastic suits. So I like that sort of the mix of the high and low oftentimes in work. And then the oval, I have used ovals before, but I had never like actually had the shape of the photograph as an oval. So this time I wanted to really make an oval, not just like an oval print on a square framed, And then I get a matte lamp put on top of it so it's not glossy. I really hate glares on photographs.
Mm-hmm. Do you still have that phone?
Yeah. It might be in Indiana's room. He thinks it's a toy. Yeah.
Well, now it is.
It is. Yeah. I used it in my film, so I've had it a long time.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So tell us about how you're spending your days.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think I'm gonna wear it to the grocery store one day.
I don't know why you wouldn't wear it to the grocery store. It's completely made for that.
I know, right? Yeah.
And you know what? People will really stay away from you if you're wearing that thing.
And I have
Um,
another like clear mask thing. I think I'm gonna start wearing it because I hate not people being able to see my smile. I really hate that.
mhm.
I'm friendly. I want to smile. Anyways,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, all right.
So you're also an educator, and you're a professor at Sam Houston, right?
Yes.
Okay. How
hmm
long have you been doing that?
This is my third year at Sam Houston State University, and we just finished up. So my seniors in professional practices have graduated. We made a zine in the photo class. It's being. I should see it any day now. I'm excited to see it printed. Um, so now that school's over, I was spending a lot of time teaching on Zoom, and I think that's where my vertigo came from. Is because I was like staring at the screen for like 6 hours straight, and your eyes bounce around when you have like 15 people on the screen.
Hmm.
So now that that's over with, I just been hanging out with Indiana. Wake up, hang out with him. We go outside, inside, walk around, walks, and then usually me and Patrick kind of trade back and forth where I spend time in my studio, either painting or setting up a photo or doing something. We'll give each other some moments of quietness without a child because having a 3-year-old is challenging. So I'm off for the summer, and in the fall, right now, Sam Houston is planning to go back in the fall, but with some like they're taking into in it like how to spread out the classrooms to make sure we're social distancing. They're coming up with some plans for that, but we also have to be on our toes and ready to go online if we need to. I mean, I'm making a bunch of stuff, and usually that's what I do is I just make a bunch of stuff and then I edit it down when I have a show. I had a show for 2020 planned, but I don't know if that's still happening. Like if they have to move all of their programming up now, so we'll see.
One piece of yours that I remember that you showed at Beef House. What year was that? 2017, probably.
Yeah, no, 2016, I think.
It was 2016, and
Yeah,
I've asked you about this piece a couple of times, and I think you've kind of disassembled it and sold it off in pieces. But you had a piece back in the vault. So Beef House had a vault. Beef House was a art collective space in Dallas that's now shut. Rest in peace. But anyway, you put it in the Stark Room, and it was what was the title of it? It was the
that's
sculpture with the.
the contents of a survival kit. Yeah.
So I mean, I was going to say, how has living through this pandemic thus far, how has it affected your work, or is it just feeding directly into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it feeds into it. I think it feeds into it. I mean, it's given me more time. Like, I don't think I probably would have started painting. But also, I think it just, I'm just looking for things around the house, which I already did before, right? I already took things around the house and incorporated them into my work. So I think it's just making me look harder for things around the house to do and to create things with. But for the most part, I think it's just feeding into it. I don't think my practice has changed that much.
The whole survivalist thing and the tools for living and tools for surviving and your focus on that. I mean, now the pandemic has really offered up a completely different set of circumstances than we've ever seen.
hmm
So, but you've been through Hurricane Harvey, you've been through some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Do you see something kind of a different dimension now coming in through this pandemic thing into your work? Are you already seeing it?
No, I feel like I'm already seeing it. I feel like I'm already seeing it totally. I mean, I just think I come at it from a different perspective. I think from different people, but from most people because I just had a child, and you're stuck at home when you first have a child, and that was something I really had a hard time adjusting to at the beginning. Like I think that was pretty much the cause of like my postpartum depression, and so I feel pretty comfortable staying at home, maybe more so than other people.
But you're a pretty social person.
I am a pretty social person, so I do miss like whenever I am social, um, I feel like it charges me back up. And so I definitely feel socially deprived right now.
Would it be
Sucks.
worse if you were by yourself?
Probably, without a doubt. It's weird. Indiana drives me insane, but he also keeps me sane. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Of like, he is like the source of a lot of stress, but at the same time, he's like the source of like my happiness. It's a strange combination.
Well, I think that's just human. I mean, I think what
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
said basically kind of sums up every person's relationship with every person.
With every person, you're right.
You
You're
can't
right.
live with you, can't live without you.
Without you, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what about the painting? Is this something you're going to keep doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you like it?
I do. I love it because it's like it's super portable and also it's just like easy to pull out, I don't have to. I think part of it is like you work from your imagination for the most part when you can work from, I guess, real life. I don't know. I never took a painting class in my fucking life, so
I
I
was
don't
going to
know.
say, did you paint in college? Did you
No,
paint?
I
You've
don't even.
never painted.
I've never taken a drawing class, or anything other than photo. It's sad. Um, but I like that with photography you have to work in real life with like real things and real objects, and there's something nice about just working from nothing. I don't have to have a biohazard garbage can to paint it, and that's nice.
Well, I won't keep you much longer. What is it like to be an artist living in a pandemic with another artist?
mm, that is a good question. I mean, I think for the most part it's pretty good, in the sense that like we have a lot of conversations, I think, about art. And we're having this kind of show and tell thing that I mentioned in the article of like showing each other's work. But I think at the same time now, though, what the one thing that we're both kind of fighting for is time to ourselves without Indiana. So I think there's been times where we get kind of grumpy with each other because we're like, you got 3 hours in your studio and I only got 2 hours and 35 minutes. So I'm gonna need that 25 minutes later. I feel like that's the only thing, is that both of us we would just want to be in our studios making stuff. And so it is a dance to get to figure that time out and schedule out. It seems weird to talk about a schedule when there's not a schedule, but we're trying to have somewhat of a schedule, and it's weird. What about you? What are you gonna do?
If I get back to Houston, I'll try to get my furniture shipped down. I'll walk a lot, like I have, like you and I were talking before I
Mhm,
started the
mhm.
recording. I walk probably between 5 and 10 miles a day just to stay sane. I do it in the late afternoon.
Do you listen to podcasts or music?
I listen to the world.
Oh,
I
you
would.
don't bring any electronics with you? Good for you. That's
Mm-mm.
great.
I want to listen to the traffic and the birds and stuff like that. It's I'm losing a lot of time to listen to music, which bothers me because normally I do that when I drive,
Mhm.
and I've not been driving, and that's
Right,
what. Oh, I miss it so badly. I miss
I just wanna
driving.
drive to Huntsville so bad. Just I miss driving to Huntsville and having that time in my car listening to a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So every once in a while, I'll take. I'm staying at my mom's house in Fort Worth. I'll take off in my car and I'll just drive west, and I'll listen to music, and then I'll turn around after an hour or so, drive back, just to kind of get a mini road trip in. I don't think any of us are built for this amount of time of being, sheltering in place, and none of us know how it's affecting us in the long term. But I can feel a lot of people kind of reaching the end of their rope. That's what it
Oh,
feels like
yeah,
to me.
totally, totally. I mean, I feel that way at some moments of, like, I can't do this anymore, and I definitely have some friends, other artists who are having a really hard time. I mean, they're
Mm.
just having a hard time.
Anyway, on that note, um,
Yeah.
thank you.
No problem.
Thanks for meeting with me and talking to
Yeah,
me on this cloudy Saturday.
yeah, it is cloudy.
It's cloudy there, it's cloudy here. But thank you for the piece. It's awesome. It's a wonderful piece.
Yeah.
I loved that show. I love it that I've gotten to see a number of your solo shows over the
Me too,
last
thank
4 or
you.
5 years. It's great. I'm a huge fan. Glass Tire
Aw,
is a huge fan of Emily Peacock.
thank you.
So we are thinking about you, and
Yeah,
um,
and thanks for everything Glass Eye's doing. Thanks for all that
oh,
you guys are doing. We appreciate it.
oh,
Um, I like seeing. I like. It's like, oh, Glass Tower sent me an email. What's happening? What's new on their website? So it's nice. Keep up the good work.